Ladies, gentlemen, and far more interesting people, please do the applause emoji thing for Frizzle. Yay! Woohoo! Oh gosh! Oh, thank you so much. Oh wow! So glad I've been booked to do this gig again. Really makes me happy. No one's getting bored of this yet? Fantastic. Turn that up, and we'll start the show. Thank you for tuning in to my silly little internet show. I know you've got nowhere else to go. I will sing songs for you, but I'm going to change up the lyrics. It's literally my only gimmick, but it'll have to do, I can't think of a better time than watching a fat man sing online. Stay at home. You've got nowhere else to go. Here's what you all need to know. This show's full of parodies and cringeworthy punchlines. Stay at home. We have now entered week 3. How long is this going to be? It's unprecedented. You won't be leaving. Stay at home. So that's my song about staying at home. On Monday, I jogged on the street spot. Let's try that again. On Monday, I jogged on the spot. Tuesday, I jumped around a lot. Wednesday, crouched into a ball. On Thursday, I nearly punched a wall. On Friday, I did a shadow box. On Saturday, I took the day off. On Sunday, spent the day in bed, but now it's Monday and this shit's starting over again. Joe Wicks, who the fuck are you? Joe Wicks, telling me what to do. Joe Wicks, you've got me all on fours, hurting muscles I never knew I had before. Joe Wicks, you're taking the piss. Joe Wicks, eat some fucking crisps. Joe Wicks, now my ankle's twisted. Joe Wicks is fucking sadomasochistic. Joe Wicks. My tribute to Joe Wicks, who is an utter sadist. Happy Friday, everyone. If you've never joined me before, this is Songs from the Spare Room. It's where I do parodies from my parody archives, some new ones, some old classics, and some that I can't get rid of in my set. This is a song that I've already done on one of the live streams, but it was requested this week. It is, of course, it's about Easter. It's about a very religious holiday. I was asked if I was religious myself, and I said yes. I am a true believer in the bearded man dressed in white robes who had a lot of followers, disappeared for a while, but then came back stronger than ever. It is, of course, Craig David. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ, 7 days. On my way to see my friends who always seem to be following me. We made plans to gather around a table. Must have been about 30 AD. We made plans to eat, and the wine was my blood and the bread was my body. Little did I know that my week was about to turn out shit, because I was telling parables on Tuesday. Judas then betrayed me on Wednesday, was having my last supper on Thursday, was killed on Friday, was still dead on Saturday, rose on Sunday, parables on Tuesday. Judas then betrayed me on Wednesday, was having my last supper on Thursday, was crucified on the Friday and Saturday, rose on Sunday. And yes, that is the only song I'll be repeating this stream. Welcome. How has the lockdown been for you this week? Last week, I searched for an escaped turtle, and I saw the turtle last night, clapping its little feet together for the NHS. That was very nice, wasn't it? I do like our weekly clap for the NHS. And special shout out to my friends who work in the NHS, because, you know, It's what's the word? Nepotism. If I support you guys more than the others. Let's see. Summed up Joe Wicks perfectly there. Thank you, Katie Swaby. Gail McCarron, one of the highlights of the week. Thank you very much. So we're going to start doing some songs. People often ask why I got into song ruining, like the parody stuff. I've been doing it ever since I was a child. My first parody was written at the age of 7, and I showed it off for show and tell. It's true. Other kids my age were into playground rhymes and tongue twisters. You know, like, what's the famous tongue twister by The Calling? You know, how much wood could a wood chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much? That one. That's the tongue twister that they know. But no, I wrote little silly parodies. My first one ever was of Wet, Wet, Wet's Love Is All Around. And it went, I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. It feels a bit like jelly or just a flock of crows. I'm not saying I peaked at the age of 7, but it was a genuine thing that I was into. Lots of things were better when I was 7, especially Disney movies, because Disney, they're just ruining it for themselves nowadays. What the fuck is going on at Disney? They're just doing everything wrong. Like remaking classics with shit motion capture. And they even fuck up the songs, and that's my job. There's far too much to take in here. None of your live actors can act. And why do you always state your live action remakes are live action when it is in fact absurd CGI? What a pointless chore. Why don't you try making new stuff? Please don't do this anymore. Timon and Pumbaa are scary now. They haunt me every night. This absurd CGI. That was dedicated to the people who requested that I do Disney songs. I always say Disney was better when I was a childhood. I know exactly why. It's because I was a child. All the 90s kids who say, oh, the 90s were much better, are actually saying, oh, my brain used to release serotonin at that age. But anyway, let's talk about the 90s. Here's some material songs from the 1990s. Skibidi-ba-ba-da-bo, ba-ba-da-bo, skibidi-ba-ba-da-bo, ba-ba-da-bo. First, take a second right, then third on your left. Carry on driving there. Is a ramp ahead. I'll get to your point without a hint of complication. At the end of the road, you've arrived at your destination. Be-ba-ba-ba-da-bo, ba-ba-ba-da-bree-ba-ba-ba-da-bo, ba-ba-ba-da. I'm a sat-nav. I'm Dr. Dolittle ever since I was little. I wanted to walk and to talk with the animals, and so I decided to be a vet. When suddenly they started talking to me, I thought I could have been going crazy, but it turns out to be useful, you can bet. Now I can walk, grunt, squeak and squawk, and I also live with a mouse, a pig and a cow and a monkey. I had a nice chat with a very nice cat. It was funky. My mum and dad think that I've gone mad. It's very worrying. So they had me commissioned in a great big house in the country. In the country. In the country. Some of my favourite TV shows are from the 1990s, and a lot of them were then remade into movies. For example, Baywatch, 21 Jump Street. These are all programmes that were remade into movies. But not everyone realises that the film 12 Years a Slave was originally a 1990 sitcom. I'm going to do the theme tune for you. You know my whole life has gone to plan. I'm in New York and I'm a free man. I've got my family and here's where I'll stay. till some kidnappers took me away. Then I was shipped out, whipped and put in my place, forced to pick cotton for the rest of my days. My master whipped me when I misbehave. 12 years a slave. 12 years a slave. And that's the song that's going to get me cancelled. I had a few complaints from my first ever live show saying that I showed bias toward the Marvel movies basically I went on about Marvel Cinematic Universe for a good 5.5 minutes. So I have written a specific song for an upcoming DC movie, and it's starring Jimmy Olsen, you know, from the Superman comics. Jimmy Olsen has been cast by Zach Braff, and they've hired me to write the theme tune. Out the door, just in time. I start my job at 9. Gotta spend the day taking photographs. I work at Metropolis for the Daily Planet. And my friends Lois and Clark really make me laugh. And you know what's really great? I've also got a superhero mate. My name's Jimmy Olsen and I'm a photographer. I know Superman. Ooh, doo, doo, doo. I know Superman. If you're a fan of the 2001 series Scrubs, you might recognize that song. We're going very, very niche here. Let's stick to the 1990s. Great intro, that. End of... Hang on. Next song from the 90s. End of the day, and I'm horny as hell. Sadly, I'm staying at a multiple motel. There's many beds, but I fancy a wank. But sadly, they've put me in the top bunk. I close my eyes and fantasize, but then I realize there's cum on the ceiling in a pile. I have to clean the ceiling tile. What a feeling when I'm wanking on the ceiling. We're turning into a bit of a sour note here, so we might as well plunder on through. Back in the 1970s, there was a man we should have feared. Could be anyone. A bespectacled Australian with a tiny little beard. I'm narrowing it down. From the clues given so far, can you tell who it is? Well, he hosted Animal Hospital. I wouldn't trust him with my kids. It's a man called Harris. Woo, yeah. Wobble board. Wobble board. Everybody. Wobble board. Wobble board. He asked 2 little boys if they could tie his kangaroo. Just don't ask to see his extra leg or he'll didgeridoo you. It's a man called Harris. Yeah. Mr. Bill Cosby couldn't get a woman at all. No, Mr. Bill Cosby had to resort to Rohypnol because he's a date rapist, molester of other women. It took him so long to find out, but we found out. Yeah, we're getting in that little section. Maybe it's time for me to read the comments. I wonder what's been going on. Oh, apparently my niece and nephew are currently watching. That's good to know. My sister always does this to me. After I say a rude word or something in the live stream show, she'll message me saying, Your tiny niece and tiny nephew are currently watching you live stream. And I wish she'd learned the lesson that this show isn't for kids. Let's see. Lovely stuff. Hello, Ben and Sally. So, songs about Rolf Harris and Bill Cosby there. It's a shame, really, that they're not dead. But it does link me into 2 songs that I've written about dead celebrities. Don't worry, I believe they've been dead for a while. See if you can figure out, which celebrity this is about. Find who the dead celebrity is. Lady Diana Spencer, you've been dead for several years, and I often reminisce about the charity work that you did. Little kids with missing arms and legs, you campaigned for all the time. You were always on about mines. You were always on about mines. And of course, the dead celebrity in that song was Elvis. Here's a song about a celebrity that I've only just found out is dead. Apologies if you already know that this celebrity is dead and you think I'm, not topical enough. But also apologies to people who don't know that this celebrity is dead. And apologies that you've only just found out through song. I live in a bit of an area, like quite a rural area, which has terrible, terrible internet. So I've only just found out. You might already know. And if you don't, at least you found out through an internet show in a very purple spare room. I'm so upset because one of my favourite singers are dead. Some years ago, he was in Take That, and then he went solo. I'm singing one of his songs, and I'm like, shit, I got it wrong. It's not him who's dead. It's Robin Williams instead. I once did that at a live show and a woman ran out of the audience. Her boyfriend tweeted me later and stated, really sorry about that. My girlfriend is Robbie Williams' biggest fan, genuinely believed that he had died. And, couldn't say to the end, didn't realize that you were joking. Can you please tweet her an apology? And I said, no. In all fairness, Robbie Williams is still alive. He's still alive. Don't worry about that. It would be a shame if he did die, because it would mean I'd have to cut 2 minutes out of my set. Someone wanted me to write a topical song about how this is going, but I thought I'd do one better. I will write a song about the state of the world in about 3 months' time. The local power plant is leaking radiation, and the graveyard nearby is now doused in contamination. Bugger me, now it seems there's no humanity, 'cause the dead, yes the dead, they are rising. With their teeth and their claws, and they're throwing off jaws. And the dead, yes, the dead, they are rising. They want what's in our heads. In our heads. Zombies, 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 bees, bees. The Walking Dead. Walking Dead, zombies, 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 bees, bees, bees. Oh, do, 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 ah. The human populace is getting close to zero. And the streets outside look like the mind of George A. Romero. And they moan and they groan as they're biting on bones, 'cause the dead, yes, the dead, they are biting. And they walk and they run at 5 miles a month, 'cause the dead, yes, the dead, they are rising. They want what's in our heads. In our heads. Zombies, 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 bees, bees. One's got my leg. Got my leg. Zombies, 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 bees, bees, bees. Oh, 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 oh. Goes on like that. My dad asking if I have a beer. I already currently have one. It's another, and I can't rate these enough. It's another Carlsberg that's been cut down to 72p a can. Thank you, One Stop in Ruskington, for funding my alcoholism. It's time to check the comments again. We make this a regular feature here on Songs in the Spare Room. It eats up the time when I haven't written enough material. Lots of people saying hi to each other. Thanks for that, everyone. I like to think I provide a service, like an MSN messenger that yells at you. It's time for songs that couldn't fit in the show. This first one is called Tracy Chapman's Kitchen Nightmares. My kitchen doesn't have that much food. In the fridge, I've got 3 mushrooms. Of pasta, I have about 1 sheet. And some old cheese and old beef. So tonight I'll be making... I'll have cannelloni tonight. This next song is inspired for when I was hired to do a pop history class at a university. I asked, what do you want me to teach them? And they said, the ABCs of Take That. So I took that quite literally. If I were to say to you, can you name a boy band from the 1990s? Well, the answer is Take That. They're still doing gigs today in sellout arenas, but the lineup slightly changed, and I'm gonna teach ya who left the band. Robbie Williams. Then who was next? It was Jason Orange. Now who is left in the boy band? Now it's Gary Barlow, Howard and Mark. Now it's Gary Barlow, Howard and Mark. Look of Love. ABCs of Take That. Do you get it now? Fantastic. I don't mean to brag and I don't mean to lecture, but I'm having dinner with Hannibal Lecter. Don't know what the meat is, because he didn't mention. But now when I see it on closer inspection, I'm having human casserole. I'm having human casserole with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. This next song is based on the time that I went drinking with Lady Gaga. I think I had too much at my friend's stag do last night. Yeah, maybe last night. Yeah, maybe. The double Sambucas and Jägermeister saw me through. Went to a strip club and we had some vodka shots and pints of Baileys and pints of Baileys. Can you blame me if there are parts of the night I forgot? It is the morning after, and with this hangover I've gained, I am missing a shoe and my wallet too. But the one thing I can't explain, I'm in a hedge in Orkney, and I'm feeling just a little afraid because the stag do was in Cornwall, which is 810 miles away. I'm in a hedge, a hedge, a hedge, a hedge, a hedge, a hedge, a hedge. I'm in a hedge in Orkney, and I woke up near a puddle of puke. I'm also missing my shoe. Thank you very much. Now, before we go on to the final section of the show, we're going to find one more look at the comments. Papa Frizzle in the house. Oi, oi. Again, I don't know if that's me or my dad, who's also watching. Thank you, everyone, saying hi, Friz. I feel loved inside. If you don't know already, I do the show every Friday at 7 o'clock, and every other day I host a panel show called What's in the Box. I've got amazing guests, like my Frizzle page on YouTube and Facebook for notifications about that. Now, I'm going to do a song that was requested for last week's show, but I didn't do it because I promised that I would never perform this song live. But there's a reason to perform it now. The James Bond film, No Time to Die, was meant to be released last month. It wasn't. Not sure why, but they released the theme tune by Billie Eilish to No Time to Die. But now, when the Bond film has been postponed until November, we've got this Bond theme in the charts, but no Bond film to watch. So this is my version of what Billie Eilish's Bond theme should be, and I think they should re-release this one so then the Bond fans have a new theme tune to look forward to at the end of the year. Big gun, got a license to kill bad guys. I always shoot to thrill henchmen. Should get out of the way, they're so despicable. Started in 1962. Actors, I have had quite a few right now. I think it's Daniel Craig, he is the current one. I'm the smooth type. Sorry. I'm the smooth type, dress up in a suit type, get my stuff from Q type, shoot you with a shoe type. You should see, though, that I am the weirdo, always in a tuxedo, dressed in a tuxedo. I'm the Bond guy. 007. People hate me, always try to shake me, torture and berate me. You will never break me. Give a kiss type, shoot me and you'll miss type. Shirts are always crisp type, sometimes talks like this type. I'm the Bond guy. Martini, shaken, not stirred. No time to die. That's another reason why I don't perform that song live. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. As usual, the show is always free. It's free distraction from all of this. Take a photo of yourself watching me live. I'll post the best ones on my Instagram. We're going to finish on the song that we always finish on. But first, if you do want to contribute, the link's in the description below. PayPal.me/FrizzFrizzle. If you want to chuck over like a $5 or a $10, that would be amazing. All my gigs have completely dried up at the moment. I miss gigging, but I also miss being paid to gig. So feel free to help me out. And not only that, I'll be able to afford like stuff to make this show more watchable. I might be able to get like a proper webcam, and I'd be able to link the piano up into the computer to make it sound amazing. This is all going into the show. But thank you so much again. I'm back next week at 7 p.m, but we are going to finish on the song that we always finish on. I was sent a few videos last week of people singing along to this. It meant the world to me. Really put my spirits up. It's the song I always finish on. It's James Blunt's version of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. West Philadelphia was born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days, just chilling out, Max, relaxing all cool. Shooting some b-ball outside the school, when a couple of guys, they were up to no good. They started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight, and Mom got scared, said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. La la. Well, I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh, and it had dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare. Well, I thought, nah, forget it. Yo, home to Bel Air. I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabbie, yo, home, smell you later. I looked at my kingdom. I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel Air. Goodbye, Philadelphia. Goodbye, my friends. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Goodbye, Philadelphia. And Jazzy Jeff, you've been the one. You have been the one for me. And we're going to finish on the Joe Wicks song that I started on before when the show began. On Monday, I jogged on the spot. On Tuesday, I jumped around a lot. On Wednesday, crouched into a ball. On Thursday, I nearly punched a wall. On Friday, I did a shadow box. On Sunday, I took the day off. On Sunday, spent the day in bed. Now Monday's come around, it's time to start again. Joe Wicks, who the fuck are you? Joe Wicks, telling me what to do. Joe Wicks, you've got me on all fours, hurting muscles that I never knew I had before. Joe Wicks, are you taking the piss? Joe Wicks, eat a bag of crisps. Joe Wicks, now my ankle's twisted. Joe Wicks is fucking sadomasochistic. Joe Wicks. Thank you again for tuning in. It means the absolute world to me that people are still tuning in every Friday at 7. The show will be available to watch immediately afterwards, so tag friends who you think might enjoy any of the topics that I talked about again. Again, PayPal donation at the bottom. If you want to contribute something, that would mean the world to me. That would be so brilliant. And anything will be invested back into the show. Rachel Brooke asks, what's next week's theme? Next week's theme, it's my Christmas show. Enjoy. I will see you next week. And jingle fucking bells.